Good morning, children. Today we'll continue the chapter on Let's Learn about the hardware concepts. If you remember, you have already learned that the computer is an electronic machine and how it takes the instructions, the input devices takes the instructions and then process it. And whatever processing we do, that whatever input information that we give to the computer gets processed. So any raw data, it shows that how the information is taken by the computer, and it produces a meaningful, it takes everything as a meaningful thing and gives us the result, which is the output. Then we learned how the CPU works, input, process, output. Then you learn about all the input devices, that's your keyboard, your mouse, and the output devices, which is your monitor, your printer. You also learn the storage devices about the hard disk, the pen drive, and the CD drive. Then we wanted to see what is the hardware and software. In the previous chapter, we learned what is hardware. And in the hardware, we learned all the parts of the computer, that is the mouse, the keyboard, the printer, the CPU, and what are the visible items, and what is the meaning of the external computer hardware, like the scanner, the printer, and the web camera. We also learned about the microphone, the speaker, and the headphones. Then we learned about the CPU. What are the things that are available in the CPU? You have the DVD drive, you have the pen drive, you have the power on and off, you have external ports. Then you have the push button for on and offing the computer. Then the external ports, what you use it for connecting any of the your mouse or anything, your headphones. Then you learned about the DVD drive and the pen, the USB ports where you can use it. Okay, today those were all about the hardware. Today we are going to learn about the software. Okay, I'll share the screen with you and teach you what is the software devices. Yes, this was in your previous chapter, the push button, the push power button, which is your on and off, your external ports, which are available at the back of your computer. You have the DVD drive and you have the USB port. Okay. The next lesson, the next thing what we're going to learn is about the computer software. And now we know that when two people are communicating, both the people should know the language. So they're communicating in their own mother tongue, a common language for communication where both can understand. So also a computer, for it to understand, we need a proper language for it to understand. So a software is, loaded into the computer or fed into the computer for it to understand whatever information or whatever instructions we are giving to the computer. Now, to understand this computer language, it's also called as a machine language. Okay, it understands electronical digital signals. It understands all digital signals, and the digital signals are made up of zeros and ones. That is your binary system, which is zeros and ones. So it understands the two signals, like your fan switches. It has an off and an off on button. So also digital signals are made up of two main signals, that is zeros and ones. This is called as machine language. All machine languages, the computer can understand only machine language, which is zeros and ones. So whatever input or whatever instructions that you are giving to the computer, it converts it into the digital signals, and then using a translator, this translator is nothing but your software, which changes your machine language into your ordinary English language you can understand. And when we feed into the computer converts our language into the digital language. Okay, so you can see the picture of here. She is typing something, that is, she's inputting some data and she's giving instructions to the computer. It gets into the computer. The software translates whatever it's fed into machine language, and then when it is converted, it comes to the computer in the language that you can understand. So software tells the computer what we need and what it should work on. If you want to do any work like copying and pasting, the computer instructs Yeah, it instructs the computer what to do. The software instructs the computer to use that application of doing things. So computer machine becomes alive only when you put a software into it. If not, the computer machine does not understand or does not take any of your instruction. It's the software that helps the computer to uh, take your instructions. Now, if you say, so what do you mean by software? In one beautiful sentence, you can say that software is a set of instructions that are given to the computer to do different types of work. A software is the instruction given to the computer to do different types of work. So the instructions depend upon the type of work. As I told you, different works. I want to paint, then I have to use an application software of paint, and then the automatically the software instructions will change to paint instructions. I can't go and do another instructions like any programming into the paint work. So paint is when I use my brush and pencil to do the paint work, and their software or application or instructions would be different from each other. So like that, it depends upon the type of work that I'm doing, and it'll change the software according to the work that I'm doing. Now you can see here some of the popular softwares are Windows 7, Internet Explorer, that is Windows Explorer, Microsoft Office. These are some of your softwares that are there in your computer. So types of softwares. Now we have two types of softwares. The first software is called system software. The word system software only you must have understood. Anyway, I'll explain. The other is called as application software. What is system software? Whatever we feed into the computer, and when the computer is switched on, the computer starts loading all this software. This software that is loaded is nothing but the system software, so that the computer works and takes our instructions. So these thing that is loaded, the system software that is loaded, is also called as the operating system. So what do you say? When the computer is switched on, the computer loads the software, and this software is called the operating systems. What is the operating system? Without the operating systems, we cannot use any of these any of these instructions. We cannot instruct the computer without the operating systems. That's how we operate the computer, because of the operating systems being loaded into the computer. That is called a system software. Like it's like your television. If you have no signals, when you're saying, suddenly you'll get an information saying no signals. When there's no signals, what will happen? It's a blank screen. So also, if there's no software, you can't do any work. So system software is used to make the computer system work. So it's an interface between the user and the computer. Whatever instructions I give it to the computer will give me the results, which is the output. So most popular operating systems, I already told you, and they are Microsoft 7, Microsoft 8, and Windows 10. These are the most common operating systems, and it is utilized by most of the people because everybody uses Microsoft Office. Okay, so operating system makes the computer ready for use. You cannot use it without the operating system. It's ready for use only when there is an operating system in your computer, and it does different types of activity. These different types of activity depends upon what are you using. Like I said, I'm using paint. Automatically it changes to a software or to that application software, that is paint application software, and then I can use all the operating works that are available for paint. So here it says the operating system makes computer ready for use to do a lot of different types of activity as per the instructions. They are called as application softwares. Now, as I told you, application software means you're using it for a specific purpose. I want to play music, then there will be a software in the operating systems, a software for playing music. Automatically the application changes to the software for playing music. If I want to do painting, it will change to that application. So the application software is used for a special purpose. Every one of you will have different types of interest. You might be having an interest for painting, for drawing, for typing, for playing games, watching cartoons, many play. So all you have to do is to load the application software. So whenever you have your computer, these two softwares are automatically loaded on your computer. Okay, the operating system or the system software and the application software are automatically loaded. And so it's loaded and it suits you according to your interest, what you want to play. So here you see that we can make computer more personal because we are putting our own applications. I can just load paint and I can use it. I can load any type of music system and use it. I can load logo and I can use it. So it's all our own interest that we are loading our own applications. So when we load such type of things, how does a computer to becomes to you? It becomes like a personal computer. That's why we call it as a PC. It becomes a personal computer. Now here are some examples about your applications. We have a MS Office loaded in our computer. You learned already about TuxPaint. TuxPaint is an application. And then pivot table, you already use it, it's an application. Logo, you use it. So these are some of the applications. I hope you understood about applications. So what did you learn in this lesson? We learned that the computer is an electronic machine, the very first point. It converts, here, it receives the data from the user, it processes it, and then it converts it into information, which is your output. The second one is, it collects lots of facts. As I told you, whatever you give instructions to the computer, 6, 7, 8, you just typed it on the computer and then you want a result, it automatically adds all the three numbers and gives you a meaningful. It understands anything that you feed in as a meaningful data. So the results, so you get the results only after you processing the data, and the result that you get is called as information. So the person who's using the computer, he is the person who uses the computer, he's called a user. Why do we use a device? We use a device to enter data, and we use a device for giving instructions to the computer device. This is called as input device. These two devices, the keyboard and the mouse, are called the devices that we use for input, are the keyboard and the mouse. And they are used for entering data to give instructions. And the most commonly used is the keyboard and your mouse. Whatever results you get, that is, you get the results of the information only after the input is being processed and you get the output. And the thing that you get the output on and you see on the screen right now, what you're seeing is your monitor. It's an output device. So data you enter and which is being saved permanently, this is called your storage unit. It's called your storage unit or your storage device where data is stored permanently. Now, the hard disk is a storage device. It is fixed inside the system unit or your CPU. Where is the hard disk? It's inside the CPU. Then a pen drive. What is a pen drive? A pen drive is a very small portable device where you can store all your data. You can erase it whenever you like. And it's very common in today's world. And computer understands the digital language, which is zeros and ones, or machine language, which is zeros and one, because it's an electronic device. The input data and instructions that are converted into digital signals are translated, and this is called the software. Whatever instruction we give it to the computer, it converts it into the digital signals. And so this is a translator and it is called the software. The software helps to convert things. These are your worksheets on page number 23. Here you can see fill in the blanks. Dash is the collection of facts that has no meaning. It's the instruction. Dash is a device to enter data, keyboard. Dash is a device to do printouts, printer. The data you enter and saved permanently goes into a place called the CPU. And what is a hard disk? The hard disk is a storage device, which is the thing that gives instructions to your computer, is the program that gives instructions to your computer. Okay, then you have choose the correct answer. The input data and instructions that are converted into digital signals or translated, what is it? It's the software that does this work. Then dash is a very small portable storage, the pen drive. The output shown by the monitor is your soft copy. I already told you, anything that is printed on the paper is called hard copy. When you see it on your monitor, it's called the soft copy. The results provided by the computer after processing the data is called output. You give an input, it processes the data and gives you the information. That information is called as output. Your next page says, The results that you get, I told you, after processing, you're getting the output. Output is nothing but information. State whether true or false. Computer accesses data and instructions as output. No. When you instruct a computer, you're inputting the instructions. So the answer is false. Second one, process means an action which is taken by the computer on the device. Yes, the computer takes the actions. So it is a processing. That's true. Third one, the standard keyboard consists of 104 keys. Yes, a standard keyboard consists of 104 keys. True. Fourth one, the mouse is an output device. Wrong. I use the mouse to point out to anything, to select anything. That's an input device. So the answer should be false. Fifth one, CD and DVD are also known as optical storage. No, it's the mouse that is known as optical storage. Okay, so it's false. Here you have a complete structure of a block diagram. Please draw this block diagram. You put input anything. You have 3 steps in this. That's a control unit, the arithmetic unit, and the memory unit. And then when it goes through this, it processes and gives you the output. And here, this is the next page. You have to match it. Monitor. I've written here ABCD. You also write here in the side so that you can match it. Monitor is here, E. So I wrote E. Pen drive is A. This is a pen drive. And hard disk is D. Here's a hard disk. Printer is B. This is the printer. DVD is C. Yeah, this is the DVD. What is operating systems? I just now told you. So these are your operating systems. You can see there are different applications for use. So VLC is your music player. This is your music player. Microsoft Paint. This is for Paint. Microsoft Office, MS Office is here. And Internet Explorer, E stands for Internet Explorer. These are the question answers. Just go through the question answers. Complete all your homework in your reader. Just read all these question answers. I've given the answers too. You can write your own answers. These are the 2 pages. And previously, I taught you the first chapter. Just cross-check your answers whether you have done it correctly. If you have not done it, just erase it and write the correct answer. Page number 7 and 8. Here you have the master following, and I also draw pictures of my computer, my documents. So do all these homeworks, complete it. I'll be checking your all your homework, children. Okay. This is your homework for lesson 2. Do worksheets, page number 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 in your reader. Okay, children. Okay, that's all for now. Have a nice day. Be good. Do your homework. Okay. Thank you.